that's my grandpa. Hi.
Okay, hi.
So we're gonna start. Are you ready?
I'm ready, yes.
So we're gonna start with the war. How old were you when the war began?
I was 14 years old.
Yeah.
And I remember very much 4 o'clock in the morning we got called out of bed because all the airplanes were flying over and making, the stupid Irish were diving, So 4 o'clock, but the first day was not bad because there were more fighting in Belgium than in our country.
Yeah.
So, because we didn't have an army, we had one soldier. He was hiding underneath the bridge because he had only a little pop gun. So, and these guys, big German guys with big tanks, and So there was, and also we didn't understood that moment what was happening because I was 14 years old, and more or less we were laying in the grass. I mean, looking at the airplanes diving down, throwing their bombs and go back up. So we were laying in the grass and looking at that for 5 hours or 6 hours because we had nothing else because there was no school, there was nothing. So we were just laying there and looking at, oh, there goes another one, there goes another one. So, but after a little while, we got used to that. But then, in 1942, it started to really affect us because we had no food. The food was very little. We had one sandwich a day. We had some potatoes. We had no meat. We had no sweets. No nothing. Never nothing. Nothing. We didn't see any chocolate or bonbons or anything for years. Nothing. We had no sweets, that's why we have all the teeth.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so how old were you when the war ended?
I was 18.
18, okay. And where and with whom were you living at the time?
I was living with my father and my 2 sisters. And I can tell you that was like in 1944 on the 23rd of September we were liberated, and it was like that, like the sun was finally coming over because we were living so down. Because we were hungry, we had not enough sleep and so on. So we were very down. So when the Americans came, it was like, like the sun was just coming up. I mean, it was bright and clear. Now, we did dance for about 5 weeks.
Wow.
All we did was dance and dance and dance.
Wow. Because
we were so happy, because we couldn't do nothing when the Germans were there. Well, they took the radio away from us. Well, they even took the pots and pans away from us because they needed them for making ammunition. They took all the bells in the churches and oh yes, you see. Okay, this on the top was all around. There were clocks, there were bells, No, not that one. This one. See, this one up top has a carillon. Okay? And every noon that somebody plays that. And when I went back to Europe, that was the first thing I was doing. I was going there and listening to the cover because they put all new bells in. Now that's the city hall. So anyway, this was a hard time when you see all these clocks and bells going out of the churches and everything. We could not walk. We had curfews. We had to be home at 7. Oh yes, we were not allowed, and there were some. When my mother died in 1943, we had to go ask permission to bury your mother because nobody was allowed. That day was the first time in my life I heard about strikes. And in Holland we never heard about strikes or anything. But because the railroad, they went on strike because they found it too dangerous to travel on the roads, on the railroad tracks, because the Americans and the English, they were always shooting at the train. But then the Germans said that if you don't go back by tonight 6 o'clock, we're going to take people and we're going to put them against the wall, shoot them. But so they forced the Dutch people to go back to work, because or else they would shoot people just like that. Anyway, but we never could do very much. During the war it was lost. But anyway, we recuperated and anyway, so after the war, like I said, we were so happy that we danced for a couple of weeks. We didn't stop.
And you were living in Holland.
Yeah.
Where in Holland?
And Maastricht.
Maastricht, yeah. How was it to live in Holland during the war?
How
was it to live in Holland during the war? As you said, you couldn't do
like
much.
I told you, we had no food. We couldn't go out.
No.
But we did. Well, we were lucky. We had an old gramophone, and because all the family lived so close together, so we would at night would sneak out the doors, and we would all come to our place. All my cousins and friends, and then we had a little gramophone, and we would dance, and that was our because there was nothing. Well, if you go to the movie if you're allowed to, because at night at 7 o'clock you have to be inside, so there was no time. Sometimes you left it, then we would go to the movie, but it was all German, so we didn't like it.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so how did the Germans treat you while they were in control?
Well, the first 2 years it was not bad because they were winning the war. But once they started to lose the war, that was a bit different, a lot different. When they would come, the German army, we had to go on the road because we had to move away from the sidewalk. Well, it was, I don't know. It's hard to explain because we were so down. So
You didn't realize that?
We didn't know. We had nothing because we were hungry. We had no pet. We had no idea because how long it's going to last. So every night, some nights, we had anti-aircraft gun next to our building. And then at night that we shoot, and we were jumping up in bed that high, and then we had to rush to the cellar. So we had no way of, you didn't feel anything.
Okay.
You have no, what should I say?
You were numb. You were numb?
We were numb, we were numb. So,
numb.
Because we had no pet, we were just living from 1 hour to the other because there was nothing.
You didn't know what was happening.
We had there was nothing to do because everything was stopped. And if you would go to school, you never know if you're going to stay there or not. So I was being in the mechanical school I was learning about my mechanics, but we didn't have nothing. We only had the books, so we could not practice, we could not do anything. So we were sitting there and it was doing the same thing all over and over again. So this is all involved in your years that you have nothing. So we were very down.
Were you scared?
Oh my gosh.
Yes? Oh yes.
Especially one day, me and my cousin, the sirens were going on, and we were running to the cellar, and all of a sudden my cousin said, "Martin dive," because he heard, I didn't hear that, because I was not used to that. But he went in Germany to work in Germany, and because he knew that. So the bomb exploded about 2 kilometers away from our place.
Oh my.
But we were lucky, because at that time of the war, it was in 1942, the bombs were not big. So there were 800 people had killed that night. So this was because a lot of we lived very close together in Europe, because the country is very small. We have so many people living there. Now they're going to get another 1 million. Anyway, okay.
Did you go to school during the war?
Yes, we had to go to school. I went to the mechanical school, but I was right across the street or in the park there. And, you know, we were going there.
You didn't have the choice to go.
We didn't have a choice. We had nothing else.
Did you lose any member of your family during the war?
Did we lose?
Yes, any members of your family.
Yes, my mother died in 1943. She died of, well, see, this is another thing we belong, because we didn't have no food. And I'm sure that my mother, that little bit food she had, she would give that to her kids. So I think, because that time we didn't know anything about cancer, we never heard about that. And I know one thing, that after my mother died, they opened up from here to there, because she always had very much trouble in her throat. She never smoked, she never drank, and she was only 43 years old when my mother died. So, me, I think that she was just worn, she was completely, she had no more resistance. So, because in the beginning of her sickness, I had to, my sister and me, we had to sit next to her bed, because we had to look after her. Because they didn't want to accept her in the hospital. So my sister would go till 2 o'clock, and I would go from 2 o'clock till in the morning. So besides that, and then going to the cellar, so I didn't have much sleep. So this is why now. So that's why I slept a lot when I remember. I always slept a lot when I was in the center there.
Well, you had a lot of sleeping to catch up on.
So, anyway.
So, where was how was life during the years that followed the end of the war? No, when the war.
At the end of the war.
How was life after that?
Well, it was very hard, because there was nothing. It took 10 years to get everything back. So this is one of the reasons I came to Canada, because see, there was we had no cars, we couldn't repair nothing, and everything was taken out. All the factories were empty, because the Germans took it all away. So in the first 10 years, there was a hard time, because there were not too many jobs also. And then besides that, when the Germans were there, we had a wheelbarrow full of money to buy something, but there was nothing to buy.
Yeah.
But there was nothing in the store. So when the Germans were gone, so everybody started off with 10 guildens, dollars, you know, guildens.
Yeah.
Because they took all the German, well, all our old money away, and everybody had $10. So that's the way we had to start off. So
You had to start all over again.
we had to start from right from scratch. So that took at least till 1960 till finally everything started to build up, but I was not home.
Yeah, no.
I was here in Canada.
Canada. So why in Canada?